Hi guys, this is Sydney. So I'm on here right now as Source and Gaia really wanted me to share messages. So I received a whole lot of downloads like just this until this morning, all throughout the night. And then for the last 2 days, I was working with the moon energy and I had to reverse some codes in the moon that was manipulated, which was the information I received a while back, and it was very clear on the past 2 days. That was regarded in relation to the energy, wounded feminine energy that we are all collectively dealing with at this time. So I'm going to share those messages, and if the transmission that I already know that I'm guided to do transmission work for that, divine healing, the divine wounded feminine energy, and also the Egyptian timeline energy. That's in relation to a lot of dark forces in that timeline. But I don't know how it's gonna come through for this public video. If they want me to share certain transmission and codes in the private in Patreon, that I'm gonna do it. If they want me to share it and in public and it's safe right now, then I will do that. So I'm just going to let my intuition guide me through and just flow through with my spirit team, and with them I'm just going to share relevant messages at this time. So the past 2 days I've been connecting very heavily with the moon energy, and so basically, I shared this in my previous video as well. Whenever moon wants to connect with me, has some kind of message, there's like a telepathic communication, then I connect with it, and it's not like I search for it, but they appear to me. It's how I can best describe. So they just show up. So wherever I am, I look up and there's the moon, or all of a sudden, I've never seen a moon from this spot here in this living room area, but suddenly they're shining really bright, just right on my face, basically. So that's how it works. And this is the first time that the moon at night showed up like that, very bright. I've never seen that moon so bright here. When I arrived in Kota Kinabalu. So I knew that there was some sort of a message, and on the first day I didn't know what it was about, but I felt like I needed to connect with the moon, and that's just what I did briefly. And then on the second day it appeared again, and just the same spot, same and then I noticed that there was something that I needed to connect. And then as I was connecting, I started to do light language and light codes transmission, basically like just standing in front of, looking into the moon. And then the information started to come, and so I knew what that was about and what I was doing and the role that I was playing at the time. So okay, that's what I'm guided to share first. Okay, so as always, this may not be for everyone, this information or the message. You don't have to know everything logically, or you don't have to have any knowledge what this is, what that is, because usually that sometimes is a better place than someone having all this knowledge and knowing about certain things that that they may block their intuition, or they may go into the ego energy of opinions. So if you simply resonate and drawn to these messages or want to learn more and being pulled to these messages and information and transmission, then simply it may be for you. So I don't want you to get hung up on, you know, the terms that are being used currently in spiritual community or among people right now. Always discern with your heart, and go into your soul and then tune in, and then you will know whether it is for you or not. Okay, so I started to connect with it, and then it was with the sacral chakra. I immediately felt the energy there, and then I was clearing the energy, and then I was reversing the codes intuitively on the moon. We're using light language and light codes transmission. So the information that I received was somehow the energy of the moon has been manipulated, and this information came to me about few weeks ago, briefly, and then I didn't really pay much attention to it, and it was my first time hearing it, so I just, you know, sat with the information, and then I forgot about it. And then it was relating to this particular time. And as we are having this Pluto in Capricorn energy right now, okay, so what I want to do first is that I want to clear some energy, because as I'm channeling this information and sharing this information, there are a lot of energies that are trying to distract me right now from sharing this and getting me stay focused, okay? Because this information is pretty important right now. So anyone who's here also connecting with this information, I want to first clear your aura so you don't necessarily get into overthinking or mental manipulation by other lower entities, especially if you're a light worker. This is very much happening right now at this time, since the 1010 portal, which I'm going to also share the message with and some guidance based on that. Okay, clearing your third eye and crown. Your chakras. I'm going to place some codes to create a pure white light around your auric field, a bubble. Okay, so it was very clear on the second day, as light language started to come and the light codes started to come. The energy of the moon has been manipulated, and also with all the system, basically the environment that we're living under, especially with the language that we use. The words are vibration, and they are sacred codes as well. Words are basically spells, right? And we say and we talk about this, words are spells, but people don't take this as seriously as how powerful that is. So we tend to use these things with less care, is what I'm guided to share. For example, what came to me for me to share just before was the system of the week, right? We are living under the system of 7 days a week, and then every time, and on usually the Saturday and the Sunday are 2 days where we are off, like a weekend, right? And when we look at the word weekend, it's weekend. So basically sounds like weekend. And moon, Saturday is the Saturn energy, and Sunday is the sun energy. So when I was in Egypt, when I was staying and living there, short term in 2022, they still had that old system, where the Friday was the day off and the Saturday, and then Sunday was the first day of the starting the week, which is how the cycle is supposed to run. So sun is the energy of the sun energy, where it's beginning energy, like charging ahead, and it's representing the energy. But we are to rest and to not utilize the energy of a Sunday. And then on Monday, which is the day of the moon, the lunar energy, where we can utilize the cosmic or the celestial energy to reflect, go in and tap into our emotions. We are to start our day on that day. And so basically all the systems are to distract all these rhythms, the natural rhythms of the celestial cosmic energies that we are connected to and we are inside. So that's why we are constantly under stress and dis-ease. That's part of that's one thing that I'm going to share basically. So that's how the system is made, and as some people may be aware already, the 365 days a week, like all the system is all manipulated. And so also the energy of the moon has been manipulated at certain points, and then with that, the women start to suffer during menstrual cycle, and also have that pain or carry that pain in the sacral chakra. And so that was also restricting the energy of the creative forces of the divine feminine. So this is also related to so-called the term that we use right now, the divine feminine rising. So that energy of the divine feminine needs to come to the forefront for the Pluto in Aquarius that is coming up on in November, that we are going to go into full on. So right now we are having the Pluto in Capricorn energy for the last time, and then we're not going to have this for about 250 or something years or so. So this is the very last time that we are going to experience this energy, which represents the old age of Leo that started the whole cycle. And then now we move to Leo, and then Virgo, and then age of this and this and this and this, and we came all the way down to the age of Aquarius, the opposite end. So that's where the energy of the North Node and South Node especially is also very strong at this time, that I mentioned briefly in recent videos. That we had the full moon in Capricorn twice, and that was to readjust this energy to get people onto their soul purpose, or to North Node, or so-called a lot of the karmic justice people talk about, or the karmic cycle. That's how it is all intertwined right now. So with that adjustment, since July, I believe, we started to have July, June, I can't remember which month, but we started to have that North Node, South Node, with the lunar cycle every month. And so, for example, what I'm going to share is from July energy, so which was very significant, and starting this whole new cycle once again, in a way, energetically. So we start to have in July, new moon in Cancer and full moon in Capricorn. And then in August, we had the new moon in Leo and full moon in Aquarius. In September, new moon in Virgo, full moon in Pisces. And right now in October, we are having the new moon in Libra and full moon in Aries. So all these energies that we are working with right now, that people may be tapping into as a psychic reader or medium or energy worker, talking about soul purpose, changes, and all of that is relating to this energy, and people are picking up on it, is what I'm also guided to share. And that's in relation to the karmic cycle, basically, that you're on. So you can look up your North Node and South Node placements and get some information by, you know, looking up online, just Googling, and then you will have certain information come up to learn about what that is. And basically, if someone has been working on clearing the energy, basically meaning taking accountability of themselves so that they move out of self-victimization energy, that is the energy of powerlessness that creates a lot of fear, lack, scarcity, and limitation. And they've been working on their limiting beliefs. And so as they delve deeper into that, they gained a lot of recognition, analysis, realization of those belief systems that they adopted. And so they were able to release them. And so for those people who have been working on that diligently in their own time, are now moving to their North Node. Okay, so that's basically, you know, part of the idea of karmic cycle. And once again, Source and Gaia want me to share that karma is not something to be scared of, but the energy attached to it, or the meanings attached to it, created a lot of fear based on reward and punishment idea of the duality consciousness, based on religious codes that were spreading in the age of darkness experimentation. So karma simply means action. So whatever you choose, it just, the energy returns. So if you speak ill of someone, that energy is going to return to the person who sent out that ill will, eventually in time cycle or the energy cycle. Or if you spoke goodwill, basically, then the energy will return to you. So what you put out, you receive. But this has been attached to that idea of punishment, because we felt, we were conditioned to feel powerless and believe that we are powerless. And that created so much fear of this energy that if we don't do something right, if we don't do something that is to please the authority figure, we were to be afraid of the repercussion of those choices of speaking our truth, right, or standing up for yourself. That we were to face harsh judgment, harsh criticism, harsh pain, and with that we experienced unfairness, injustice, and with that we start to hold a lot of anger, resentment, revenge energy of the hatred, right? That's how everything is just, you know, like a domino effect is what I'm seeing in my psychic vision, right? That's how the humanity in the age of darkness experimentation has been conditioned, and passing down that energy from one generation to the next, holding on. So we've been working heavily on forgiving others, forgiving ourselves, everything of that nature to clear our energy, to align ourselves to that higher vibration of the new earth energy. So basically, the karma, how it works is like this. So one way to share this is that, you know, we eat plants, fruits, or animals, however we resonate, the seafood, and we eat things from the nature to sustain ourselves at this time. And when we die, what happens? Our physical body is being returned to the earth, so the body starts to decay, and all these animals might eat it, insects might eat it, right? It eats away the flesh. So that's the basic idea of karma. So we return what we consumed, basically. So we returned, we took on energies from the nature sources, and now when we die, we that energy is being returned. So that's the idea of karma in that way, you know, to give you a new perspective or higher consciousness of that idea of that energy. And that idea of that energy, or the purifying, this definition is really key right now, because a lot of people are working on their healing, working on empowering themselves, or starting to be awakened to certain aspects spiritually. And all these definitions are hindering them to stay stagnant or stay powerless with where they are, instead of them taking charge, and they have the power to shift and change their situation subconsciously. This is anchoring them down to the lower vibration, that what they believe in is they're powerless. They can't change this. So that sense of powerlessness is something that is coming up, that all the humanity has been carrying for centuries, is what I'm guided to share. So we are now clearing this energy by reviewing with the Pluto and Capricorn energy for the last time, and we were in retrograde, and now we went direct. So we were to review these structures, review these systems once again, and review that idea of ego, that is the authority of the that is tied to that idea of reward and punishment, that created this whole system that we are living under, working and enslaving ourselves once again in this modern day and age without us realizing. Enslavement to the idea of money, enslavement to the idea of winning, enslavement to idea of achievement, accumulation, enslavement to the idea of domination. So we are to review these things for the last time before we enter the Pluto in Aquarius. And this Pluto energy is very transformative, which means it carries a lot of dark, shadowy energy, meaning it reveals a lot of the hidden aspects, that the shadow aspect that we were avoiding from. So that's where the dark feminines, that energy is coming, that the feminine energy, very strong feminine energy, because the feminine energy has the power to transmute, because it understands the darkness, it understands the shadow, and it embraces the shadow and darkness, instead of being afraid of it or trying to run away from it. It utilizes energy to transform, transmute. That's how it is really very powerful. So with that, you know, in the history, the witchcraft and all these curses that were put on to women who had spiritual powers and gifts in many different era, in the experimentation of the darkness age, that you may perhaps have encountered in movies, in stories and myths and all of them. Also is, as words are spells, you know, that I mentioned, that people do not quite grasp the significance or the power of this potent energy of your everyday words, spoken thoughts and spoken words. And this is how the world has been manipulated with words. Certain words that we speak, that we are considering good, they do not hold that frequency of the high vibration. And this was intentionally manipulated and widespread intentionally to keep people in lower vibration, just like the 7 days a week system. And every time we say, especially in English words, it is weakening the energy constantly. So things of that nature. So what happens is, this is something I'm also guided to share as my personal story a little bit. So ever since I had that spiritual initiation in 2018, I started to have all this, my clear abilities got really like enhanced and refined and just really, really sensitive. I could pick up on energies, and I have been a very intuitive person all my life in this lifetime, and very like sensitive to certain energies. But this was like on a different level. And when that opened up, whenever someone lashes out, whenever I work with the client, they project, and because they're just being triggered and their energy, like the negativity is very strong, it would stroke the heart. And at times when the energy is really like accumulated in very low vibration, that energy is like a really sharp knife really hitting the heart. Like I feel that on a physical level. So as if someone, they're not holding a knife and poking, or you know, the knife in my heart, but that's literally how I feel the energy energetically. So every time someone judges, every time someone gaslights, every time someone manipulates, every time someone speaks ill of something that we call like evil eyes and all of that, it blocks the heart area. It goes to the heart. It attacks the heart basically. So that's the energy. And so the energy of these words that we speak and the thoughts that we send out eventually is to attack the others. Meaning, we were living in that survival age where we were constantly using our energy to defend basically. So we were using our energy to defend, meaning in a way we are constantly looking back on what happened rather than moving forward. And so going back to the witch, the wounded divine feminine energy, whenever people throw things, you know, during witchcraft or such something or whatever, you know, all this like the stories and, you know, histories and movies, and the people who made that, people who wrote that story in modern times, they carry that memory on a subconscious level. They're channeling this information in a way. So whenever that happened, it blocked our chakras, the heart chakra and also the sacral, especially where all these creative energies lie, where we need to open up in order for us to continue to expand and grow and to utilize to build a new golden age, is what I'm guided to share. So that's basically the energy that we are clearing up right now with the moon energy and this lunar cycle also. And in this particular lunar cycle in Libra is a scale, right? The balancing of things. And even though Libra is considered like a masculine energy, what I felt was like both masculine and feminine energy this time. So what I'm noticing right now, I was just speaking things, and then suddenly the camera got cut off and I was just channeling because I was closing my eyes. So I'm sensing a lot of distraction energies right now. So this information is very important for to be informed for light workers, especially divine feminine rising, earth angels, starseeds, however you resonate with these terms, and also to embody this higher consciousness at this time is what I'm guided to share. So I'm just going to continue. So I had to look into the last part of the recording, and I was mentioning about the October energy of equilibrium. So what I felt was the first it was the masculine energy coming through, and then now it's the divine feminine energy coming through that we are working with to both embody. And we had the Capricorn retrograde during the earlier part of the Libra energy, and then now we're having the Capricorn Pluto direct. So we are to find equilibrium between the masculine and the feminine within, that we've been continuously working on healing, you know, since last year, heavily at times divine feminine, at times divine masculine. And the divine, this masculine energy that I'm tapping into in the Libra season in October has been very much, very soft, I would say, or refined masculine energy. So it's not aggressive, it's not rough, it's not tough masculine energy, but very much refined is the word that is coming, and the energy that I can describe based on what I'm sensing energetically. And so this refined energy is what we are guided to adapt as light workers, especially as starseeds, divine feminine rising, however you resonate. And this energy, when I talk about masculine and feminine, it's not relating to the idea of gender, of you being a female or you being a male in this lifetime, because everyone has played a role in different lifetimes as male and female to learn about these energies. And so you could be a male having a lot of divine feminine energy, and you could be a divine feminine rising, or a female and be that. And so this is applying to everyone in the collective. It has nothing to do with gender, is what I'm going to share and remind. And so this very refined masculine energy is very strong, very determined, very protective, providing. So it's not sitting with the energy of the ego or the domination or the conditioning to winning and all of that old conditioned energies that we've been living under in the age of darkness. So we are being called to move out of the energy, and because of this energy entering into and in being introduced through the Pluto energy right now for the first time, what is taking place is that we are being called to go in. And especially right now, there's a squaring energy with the Mars. I don't know if it's Pluto energy squaring Mars or astrologically, but there's like a squaring energy that I've been receiving or sensing. That energy is maybe triggering a lot of people in the collective to feel superior over certain things, to feel like they're above everyone else. They may not show it outside, but that's the ego aspect, or the dark masculine energy that they used to play out with wounded inner child, right? The powerlessness and the victimization and all of that energy that one carries. They're being called to look into these triggers, but if someone is still avoiding or unaware or not doing this kind of self introspection and reflection, is what I'm going to share, then they may be triggered to play this out constantly. And this is taking place a lot in the collective, especially if someone is still exposed to the environment of the corporate culture, or the large institutions or the organizations. So this is the last act. So we are to drop that masculine energy to basically climb up the ladder for power and status, and some sort of idea of recognition as winning above all else is to be demolished, and is to come down, meaning much refined, or that idea that energy needs to be transformed is the word, with the Pluto energy, with the, so we need to continue to look into that shadow aspect, okay? And with that, because of the moon's energy has been manipulated, the codes were planted there. What I was guided to do was, so the moon appeared, and usually when that happens, they have a message, and they want to connect with me telepathically. And that happened the last 2 days, or was it 2? Yeah, last 2 days. Suddenly they showed up shining really, really bright, and then I picked up on that energy, and then I knew. And on the first day, I didn't know what the message was about. I just knew that they wanted me to connect. And then the second day it appeared again, and the moment I took the time to connect with them, the light language started to come, and the light codes, and I was reversing the energy of the moons. So right now, what I'm guided to share is also to share some transmission, okay? And I don't know if this transmission may be to be shared for everyone on the public, or partly here and partly on Patreon for particular people who's going to resonate and reciprocate on equal energy exchange. But it's all going to be divinely guided by Source and Gaia and my spirit team. So I'm just going to let it flow through intuitively. So what they want me to do is they want me to just soften your energy a bit. If you're connecting and resonating, setting that energy for you to feel safe, for you to feel emotions, recognize your ego aspect, because all this idea, so-called a good boy, good girl complex, where we were being pleased, we were conditioned to please authority figures who we perceive to have more power than who we are. That is basically the idea of you being powerless, and that is the subconscious limiting belief system that is constantly holding you back in a way from you vibrating higher, because you're resonating with that frequency and you are to react to these energies still. But once you identify your belief systems and recognize and realize that in your subconscious, then you're going to be freed just by recognizing and identifying. Okay, so if you're feeling triggered, if you've been feeling triggered to feel like you are superior or acting on certain things, or you get triggered because you feel like someone is ignoring you, someone is trying to dominate you, trying to control you, then is you want to look into these areas of triggers or this rising fear that is coming up with that. The emotion, first it's going to be expressed as anger and resentment, and then hatred, and then as you sit with it, it's going to go deeper into the feelings of sadness and grief. Okay, because it's tied to that idea of you being unheard, okay, you being unseen, therefore you being not enough all the time, which is, it's making you feel sad, right? No one is seeing you, no one is recognizing you, that you are alone. Okay, and with that you lose hope, you don't trust yourself anymore, you just give up. Okay, so it's creating that feelings of defeat for certain people. That's the inner child wound. That's how usually it works. Usually it's usually the first reaction is the anger or the hatred, but deeper down it goes into that feelings of depression or the energy of sadness. Okay, so the moon wants you to go deeper into that energy and allow you to feel that, and also be mindful and be aware and conscious of these cycles that are constantly in support of you. The Monday, the moon energy, Tuesday, the Mars energy, right? All this energy, Thursday, the Jupiter, Friday, Venus, Saturday, Saturn, Sunday, Sun energy. So utilize these energies, but also at the same time, do not force yourself to fit into certain ideas. Always flow with your own intuition and your own natural rhythm. So that's where you learn also to find equilibrium between working with these celestial cosmic energies and with your own energy signature, or your unique situation or your unique journey. Okay, so that is what I'm going to share, because from my experience of working one-on-one in the past, when I share these things, people are usually very much want to have the quick fixes, want to have all the tools and resources. It's more like taking stands, right? I want to have them more. I want to make sure that I have this, have that. But they're focusing on having and securing, but actually more importantly is working inwardly. So sit with this knowledge and just remember the key is you. You are the key. So you are the best resource. You're the best tool. Your body is a tool. Your breath is a tool. Your physical state is a tool. Your mind is a tool. Your emotion is a tool. So you already have everything, but sometimes you need support and extra guidance, additional guidance. So that's where I was helping with. But then when someone is in the lack energy, and subconsciously they play out desperation, and then it leads to a lot of chasing and wanting to accumulate on the outside in order to feel safe. So just Source and Guide also want me to remind this of people when they're doing the healing work. or going into working with someone that always take that information, but it is you. Always you have to change your vibration. You have to shift your mindset to match that energy. Okay, so that's why basically you are healing yourself all the time, but people who's helping is creating a safe environment. Okay, so and also what the source and Gaia want me to share to shed some light on some of the definitions and the meanings that we're working with at this time when it comes to healing and all that practices is when someone tells you that if you don't do this work, you're gonna get stuck in the old earth, and that's going to be horrible, and if you don't do this, you're going to stay attached to negative entities or like these things or blah 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 of that nature. What I'm being continuously guided to share, especially from my higher self also, is to stay neutral. Okay, and that's going to transmute all these old timeline energies, and that's going to help Gaia and everyone in the collective, especially if you're a healer, if you're like guiding people or helping people, reading energies and psychic readers, tarot readers, however you resonate. You don't have to be, you could be in a corporate setting or working with people, but in a position helping someone, is to remind yourself of stay neutral, because it's creating so much fear, especially at this time right now where people are going to be triggered with the Pluto energy. And we need to clear this energy out as much as possible. Starting from now. Okay, so I just want to clear the energy up because I've been interrupted several times recording this video, particularly right now. Okay, clearing your energy space because there's somehow a lot of distraction energies. So that's not how it is. When we say you are going to be attached, the negative energies are being attached, like this idea of attachment is also something that needs to be purified and neutralized. Going forward, moving forward is what I'm going to share, is because everything is you. You have the power to set the vibration. It is your vibration that is resonating with someone's words, that is triggering a person, triggering you, or you are being inspired depending on your vibration, right? If there's a lot of separation energy, it's going to feel as triggered because it's going to trigger a lot of fear energy in the subconscious with that person. If it inspires someone, it's going to, and it celebrates with the other person, that person holds a lot of the vibration of the love energy of oneness. So basically that energy of hatred or creating certain negative comments or trying to correct someone or trying to be in a position of higher power, evaluating someone's work or words, is basically from the ego. And what triggers them is the feelings of competition, which is basically idea of limitation, that you are not good enough. So you need to compete with other people. But when we are in oneness, we understand and have accepted that everyone is unique, and you are a unique light just like everyone else. And we are all on a unique journey. That's where the honoring energy comes through, respecting energy comes through. But with the competition energy, the divisive energy, it creates a lot of violating boundaries, disrespecting, and then winning at all costs. So they will use very different tactics, right? Manipulations, once again. They could play with words, playing nice, playing a certain way, but the vibration isn't matched to what they're saying. Or it could be straight up hatred, right? Straight up detest, or something could be also snaky. It could be packaged as someone celebrating you, but backhandedly there's another energy coming through, and all these things are so-called manipulation, right? In the negative sense. So basically, these energies right now are very prevalent in the collective, because they're being triggered with the ego energy of status, power, and authority. So we are to be, once again, address these areas of our shadow aspects that we've been inherited with, that we've been carrying. And as a light worker, starseed, earth angels, however you resonate, you don't have to resonate with this term. So if you're simply resonating, we are here to break this cycle, basically break this lineage, break this energy. And so how to do that is understanding that it is you. The key is you. You are the one deciding your vibration. You are the one deciding your choices. You're the one. But this is very difficult at this time, is when we are playing the good girl, good boy syndrome, or that had been very much the prevalent conditioning in society, in pretty much majority of the households and systems. We are taught to disconnect. So first of all, we don't know what we want. We don't know what we truly desire. And that is the starting point. Wondering, what do I really want? What do I really desire? How do I really want to live? Apart from what the society tells me is the best for me. What my parents are telling me that is best for me. Everyone says that I'm doing this for you. But because when a person feels powerless, they try to achieve their dreams through someone else. Basically, it creates codependency energies in relationship and all of that, right? So that's basically the whole idea. And with this last time of the Pluto and Capricorn energy, and as I was connecting with the moon energy, clearing all the energy in the sacral chakra and reversing the codes that were manipulated in the moon, so that we could receive certain energies that could support this wounded feminine energy healing at this time. Okay, so that is something that I'm going to share. So you want to, if you resonate with this, you want to continue to go deep into it. Why you hold that deep sense of depression or sadness, and this may not be apparent. You may not feel that feelings of depression or sadness right away or intensely, but a slight trigger is leading to that deeper energy within your subconscious psyche or subconscious mind, is what I'm going to share. So look into that area and meditate and reflect until you realize which areas or what belief systems that you adopted where you made you feel like you are not enough as you are, that you needed to be someone else, or you needed to be like something else, or look a certain way, right? All these ideas are being called for you to reflect on and meditate upon. especially the second part of the Libra energy right now, starting with Pluto going direct in Capricorn. So that is the energy that I'm guided to share in the messages. And another part is Egyptian timeline energies that are affecting a lot of people in the collective right now, that is connected to the Atlantean timeline, is what I'm going to share. So the past week and more, my spirit team have been connecting with me with a lot of energies of New York City and US. And I mentioned this some time ago in my previous video and certain parts, earlier part of this year. And once again, it came. Because right now, at this equilibrium time, before we go into or move into that Pluto in Aquarius energy full on, we are to review these Atlantean timeline matrix, is what I'm guided to share. So basically, the whole matrix, or what we experience and perceive in a physical reality that's built in New York City right now, is the blueprint that's been carried from the Atlantean timeline, basically. So that's why I shared in the previous videos that I've been recognizing a lot of younger star seeds, especially from Sirius, being in New York City at this time, working there, studying there, basically being them being there is to clear the energy up. And I'm guided to mention personal story once again here, that there is this public figure, she is a very younger person in this lifetime, and she's in the entertainment or that industry, and like a TV personality in fashion. And her energy has started to come through in 2015, around 2015, for the first time in my dream time. And back then I wasn't really much interested in her or who she is. I knew who she was, but I didn't pay much attention. And she started to appear from time to time, and I didn't know what that was about until recently. And what happened, and especially the last month, she's coming on her energy has been coming on constantly, very strongly. And she is residing in New York City currently. And so before that, I knew that there was some sort of why. I understood her purpose of being there and what she's doing. She's definitely a starseed. And what happened was, a few days before the 1010 portal, I was feeling cold to go outside, and I didn't know. Usually when something happens like that, I just go out, and with no aim, destination, and everything leads me to wherever I need to be and go. So I went out and I started to walk in a direction that I intuitively was pulled, and I started to walk all the way. And that's usually how I connect and transmute the energies, as grid worker, light worker, however you resonate. And then the moment I stepped outside, I start to have all this information coming as clarity. So with the Egyptian timeline, that I received certain information couple of nights before that time. So basically in my dream time, what happened, I saw that I was talking to that other person, that public figure that I'm mentioning, about our past life connection. And this other one who showed up was in connection with the Egyptian timeline. And with the person with the Egyptian timeline. What we were doing like the word cobra came. We were forming this cobra, this winged sun. That winged sun ancient symbol, if you look up, you will see the two cobras like this, and then there's the sun, the Ra energy. So that came through, and I was transmuting energies around, and then that was the dream, or that spirit self in that astral realm. And then I didn't know what that was about. And when I woke up, I started to feel and sense this very dark, spooky energies from the Egyptian timeline, like that was keep lingering. That was like I was sensing and picking up on, which I've been very much have the acquaintance and familiarity with, based on my experience back in March, starting March in 2023, when I had to clear and transmute a lot of the energies from the Egyptian timeline to join New Earth, basically. And also at the time, also for my soul retrieval, basically, I had to remember who I was in that lifetime as Isis, and what I was doing, and why I was going to all these different places in Egypt, what I was guided to be there in Greece, and all of these continents. So basically that was relating to that time period. So I familiarized my energy and how dark that was, and this time it wasn't as dark or intense, but I like picked up on these energies still in the astral that are flowing around, that may be affecting a lot of the people in the spiritual community who's doing light language or light language transmission or light codes transmission that has the connection to Egyptian timelines. And right now, a lot of people in the collective, a lot of starseeds have that connection to Egyptian timelines. And these energies were still lingering. And so I started to walk in the moment I walked outside and having all this information. And with that, what happened was this other public figure that I've been connecting in the astral, I started to remember who she was and our past life connection, and it was relating to the Atlantean timeline, where I just started to cry and in recognition and start to see, oh, she's my sister, she's there. So I knew that she's a light worker, and there are a lot of starseeds and light workers, especially in the entertainment industry right now, because that energy has to be cleared up for the age of Aquarius, and they're healing a lot of the divine feminine wounds at the same time. As female person in this lifetime in gender terms, or they could be a male but carrying a lot of the feminine energies within them, or they're like homosexual, so-called, or whatever, you know. So or they don't have to be, but they carry these very much divine feminine energy, which I encountered with one other person from my Andromedan lifetime in 2023 when I was in Bangkok. So just like that, all this information started to come once again, and then they had to be protected from these energies. So I started to do light language, and just came out, like when I was transmuting all these ancient codes in Siem Reap in Angkor Wat in August. So I was walking and then remembering, like crying, and then constantly transmuting with the light language and light codes, just walking among people. And then I walked all the way down where the ocean was. There's like markets, and then I'm just walking, and I stopped at a certain spot where I could be just right next to water, the ocean water, and then the sun was there. And then I started to reverse the codes, just like being in that spot, closing my eyes, nobody was around. And then there were a lot of signs and synchronicities that were showing me in that spot. And then I felt drawn to take the picture of the sun. And then as I was taking the photo, it was the portal that was being opened once again. That same portal that I saw the moment I walked out on 8/8 in Cambodia in August. And then another time when I arrived here in Kota Kinabalu on the first day, same portal, and this one, another one, same portal. So that portal energy that I opened up, I was opening up that portal and connecting with that Egyptian timeline, and then transmuting the code. So in my mind's vision, what happened was all these glyphs that I saw in the ancient Egyptian temple in Luxor and in all these temples that I was. And it was interesting because I took a lot of photos and videos when I was in Egypt, and after that I went to Greece, and in Athens I lost my phone. So my phone was stolen and I lost everything. So I do not have any photos, you know, just a few, and then I do not have the photos of, you know, the glyphs and all these walls and the temples that I took. But more importantly, I was touching everything, and then at the time I was downloading, and wherever I went I was connecting with the energy. And I mentioned this in the previous video, I'm constantly intuitively verifying whether the energy is real or not, which is coming from my past lifetime of working with Source and Galactic Federation of Light. So I was doing this constantly, and all these glyphs that I saw and I was connecting to started to come through. And it's like as they come through, they're from the dark, and then as I was doing the light language, they were like in a movie or in a visual, like the letters or the glyphs were shining through, and then it was being transmitted back into the astral. So that was what I was doing. I was standing there for a pretty long time, and I was doing that constant transmuting, and sending this energy out and setting the intention that everyone connected to this Egyptian timeline not be affected by all this lingering dark energies in the astral with what they're doing, because they could transmit without realizing or unintentionally these codes that are not purified. So, and I was sending all this protection around all the light workers. So that was intuitively what I was guided to do. And then, you know, certain memories and the information from the Akash came, and it was very touching moment. So whenever that moment of clarity comes, like, it just makes me cry of knowing, because how connected we are, as like, even though in this lifetime I'm playing this role working here, and someone is like on TV, like and they have to deal with a lot of their challenges and struggles, and they're playing a certain role in this particular lifetime. And I'm also guided to mention later around December, November time last year, this one person who I know from TV, you know, basically part of the royal family, and I was never really interested in or paid much attention once again. And it was the first time she came through, and you know, this the dream time is very clear, vivid memories when I wake up. So she was sharing her stories and how she's agonizing right now, having a very difficult time. And then she, in this lifetime, she has 3 children, and now she was saying, I don't know why I'm here, I don't know what I'm doing, and I have all these children now, and blah 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 blah. And so in the dream time, in the astral, I was telling her to continue. I kept saying, stay holding love and light, hold love and light. And then I was just like giving her comfort or encouragement or sending that reminder. And then when I woke up, I wanted to verify whether this encounter in the astral was somewhat of the energy that I can trust, is from the source, and this is the energy that I can trust, or verify the energy basically. And that I sat with the energy with that, and then she appeared once again, and I waited until it was clarified, and it was clarified that she is a light worker. Part of working, her role right now is to contribute to this age of Aquarius, where we are no longer going to have like these royal families, people looking up to them as someone higher than most people, or the common people, so-called, right? They're being like in a way worshipped and all of that, someone higher. So the reason or the purpose behind me sharing these stories at this time is we are all connected on a soul level, and we're just playing different roles right now, and it's not our job to judge what they're doing and why they're living that life, because we don't know. You could have been a royal or like played a role of a king or a queen or someone, but now you're just you're in a countryside, born into a family of farmers or something like that. We don't know. And a lot of the times we don't know what the soul went through, and the soul wants to have a break and just very peaceful, quiet life in this lifetime, or soul needs to be in a certain place of spotlight where they need to play a certain role in that place. So this idea also has to be neutralized as well, okay? And so we don't need to judge, or we don't need to compare, and then with that comparison trying to get a sense of who I am. That habit or that pattern needs to be cleared right now with the Pluto and Capricorn energy starting as we move into the age of Aquarius, or the Pluto in Aquarius energy full on. And with that, also this other person that I mentioned as the Atlantean timeline as my sister, she's also has a, and in this lifetime she carries the Middle Eastern bloodline for a reason, based on the energies that I recognized that came to me in divine timing by Source and Gaia, for me to know at this particular time that few months ago her sister came to my dream time sharing the information that she's in a lot of mental distress. And so I remember sending like love and light basically for her to regain balance. So a lot of star seeds who are playing certain roles right now, a lot of light workers, their third eye is not completely fully open yet, is what I'm going to share. So for anyone part of the 144,000 light workers, especially if you have woken up and you've been doing the work, you moved on to your soul mission, you are to continue to help those souls, so-called our brothers and sisters, everyone is, to help them continue to awaken and expand their energy so they can leave the matrix. Okay, they can get out of the matrix energy and then are no longer going to be played, or they're no longer need to play the energy as the karmic cycle, is what I'm going to share. And that is the energy that we are being called to moving forward from this point onward, and the message that I'm going to share at this particular time in divine timing by Source and Gaia in regards to ascension. So as a light worker, also what I'm going to share was the day after the 1010 portal, what happened was I connected with 2 other local person here, and we had a very nice chat and blah blah blah. And one was running a flower shop, the other one was running a clothing shop, and it was all divinely guided. And that as I was having a conversation, I enjoyed, and then I left, and then their energy was very friendly and familiar, and I was wondering whether they're my soul tribe. And what came was it was like an event that they want me to experience, for me to share with the collective, especially for light workers 144,000. Is that with the 1010 portal, there was a huge energy, huge portal, right? And especially the 1010 energy was connected to the energy that we were on since 2008. So that karmic cycle, and then it was being closed, and we had to go through a lot of different things and clear and live through and learn and grow since then. And depending on what a person did, we were in a certain place. And just once again, there are no conditions attached. If you don't do this, you're not gonna do that, you're not gonna be this or that, or all these negative consequences that we talk of. But how you can describe is whatever you choose to do is where you're going to experience, is what I'm going to share, and how we can describe best. Basically, if you choose to continue to align the energy, or react to, or respond to, or connect to, or participate, so give your attention, therefore it grows and expands in the area of like gossip, for example, or sharing, complaining your negative experiences and how you're miserable and how you have all these problems, right? The more you share that energy, more you speak of that energy, that's the energy vibration you're aligning with, is what I'm going to share, and that's where you're going to live under. And so as we are splitting further and further, as we move into this ascension journey, everyone is making a unique choice on a soul level, and we are not to judge what they're making as to what choices that they're making. And right now, we, on a belief system level, we consider certain things negative, certain things not beneficial, certain things not good, but everything is neutral. So that's why continue to stay neutral is a key message here. That also, with this particular event that the source and my spirit team wanted me to experience, to verify, was that I started to sense that they were connected to both the Mother Mary line, the energy. So this also happened when I had to clear out of that Egyptian timeline very heavily. Like, it was very, very dark and spooky back in March 2023. This one person came through, and she was living in Canada, like she's a Canadian, And then she started to connect, and her energy was very much, I started to receive this information from the Akash very clearly, from the Egyptian timeline of that Yeshua and Mother Mary timeline. And she was one of the followers of the teachings, but right now she's incarnated, you know, as this person. And then she was suffering from a lot of negativity, and she had issues with alcohol, and so she's getting out of that addiction and all of that issue. And there was a lot of manipulation energy there, playing nice, but that's all I could describe. Manipulation energy, okay, of taking, passive aggressive energy, okay. So at first, because I was connected with her in that Egyptian timeline and the message was very clear, I was trying to help her, but then I noticed that manipulation energy soon after, and then it was not going to go away, because even though she's in the process of her healing journey, she is not aware of how her choices or the energies are impacting other people, basically. So basically the idea of detachment, that is the discernment that is significant right now, especially for light workers, is also another message that came through with this message. And this one, even though based on the conversation we had with this particular encounter in Malaysia, they carried a lot of friendly energy. One of the gifts that I have is I immediately tap into their subconscious or the trauma signature. And there were certain bits and pieces of information that came through, and I had to sit with that and meditate in order to verify. And that information was that they're still in the lower vibration energy, and a lot of gossipy energy there. So the energy that I've been connecting with, a lot of my soul, in a way, soul tribe, when I was in Bali, they were both very friendly, but the energy there was very pure. There was no agendas. But this one was very a bit of sticky energy here. So if you resonate, of course, what you want to do, and from this point onwards, because there are going to be a lot of these triggering energies in the collective, and people wanting to, or on a subconscious energetic level, somehow being drawn to certain energies of light because they hold a lot of darkness. Now what's happening is because their energy vibration is low, their aura is very much weak, and there are a lot of holes and tears that other lower entities can seep through their mental space, their emotional space, affecting what they desire and what they desire to choose. That's going to trigger their ego or something like that. So that's how they're going to be manipulated, and then connect with certain souls in a higher vibration that has the past history of connections in different lifetimes and different timelines, is what I'm going to share. So the energy may be familiar, that energy may be feeling very comfortable or feeling very friendly at first, but they're not in a high vibrational state. So when that happens, it could attack unknowingly, affect the heart portal energy here. But as light workers, we are to continue to expand this energy, radiate this energy, and we don't need to have this, or we don't unnecessarily have these kind of distractions. So that's what I'm going to share. And so One way to discern is to keep your heart neutral. So you don't have to be like harsh or too analytical or trying to be logical or defensive, because that's going to lower your vibration, because you're going to see everything as a harm, or make sure that something is not harming you is a defensive place of the survival energy. We don't want to drop our vibration to that level, but just be aware, and you can still interact, but sit with the energy. If something comes that you notice, and that if that energy that you pick up on intuitively is not somewhat of a high vibrational, or the vibration that you want to align to, that is in alignment with joy and all this like respect, and not that gossip, drama, chaos energy, or the ego energy, then you want to stay detached and discerning. Okay, and so stay neutral, to be kind. You can stay kind and caring, but do not participate once, because usually they will start to share something and you ask and they're like, oh, but I have this and that. They will start to share a little bit of their problems, a little bit of negative perspective, and that's how the conversation goes. Once we engage more and more, we try to help them, right? And that's where the energy is going to get drained, okay? Because they're not going to change. They have to do their inner work on their own. Or they, if they're really determined, they have to make a decision to ask for help. And that's when that person can really receive or resonate or match the vibration of the person who's sending the positive information or the guidance, okay? So when the person is not ready like that, it's only going to drain your energy. And so you have to stay neutral until the energy that you're interacting with feels safe and resonating with that higher frequency that you are aligning with or vibrating with. And then if it's not, you can just detach, okay? Because once you attach, just like that, it could be very harsh, or it could be something very soft, but it's attacking the heart portal. And a couple of days ago, a few days ago, energy of Archangel Metatron has been coming on very strong with that symbol of the Archangel Metatron symbol, the Metatron's cube, and with that heart energy opening, with that Taurus field here. And with that information came, the Taurus field needs to continue to stay expanded and radiating. And the reason why we want to work on this equilibrium of the divine feminine and masculine, while we are having all this information to be aware of what's going on in the collective, and staying neutral and discerning and detached continuously, is because we are experiencing, or we are going to work with the energy of the full moon in Aries, which we've been working on very heavily in 2023, is what I'm going to share. So we had to work through a lot of our inner child wounds, the wounded divine feminine, wounded divine masculine energy, the victimization, the conditioning, okay, the powerlessness, and all these energies, the belief systems, to come to this point to be who we are, to feel safe who we are, to speak who we are. And so that your chakras had to be aligned and open up. And the reason why it's important is, once that happens, once you become you, once you become unafraid to express who you are, be who you are in any circumstances, because you know who you are, you honor yourself, you respect and have that love for yourself as well as you have love for others, is the heart space starts to radiate so bright, radiate so much light. It's just going to affect everyone around you. You could just go to a grocery store or a convenience store, go down the street. Your light is helping everyone, shedding some sort of light in their consciousness as a light worker, as a grid worker, or however you resonate, especially the 144,000 who woke up. And also, it's helping Gaia. So you have to honor your temple and this very sanctuary within your energy field. And as I share this information, in my vision, in the psychic vision, is this Trinity, once again, the pyramid. Okay, so that's very much what we are being called to do as light workers, is the message. Okay, or anyone resonating at this time. And that if you know that you're connected to Egyptian timeline, or somehow you've been drawn to all this Egyptian histories, or you have tattoos or jewelry, you have the Ra symbol or the Ankh symbol especially, then you're very much connected to that Egyptian timeline energy. And that do you want me to give transmission? Okay, so they want me to share energy transmission, light language and light codes transmission for those souls who are connected to Egyptian timeline, Atlantean timelines, to have the light protection with whatever energy that they're working with in the astral. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do clearing your energy space first. Okay, take a deep breath in and slowly out, longer than your breath in. Okay, so I was drawn to have these crystals with me for some reason with the flowers today. So this is what I'm being pulled to use, pyrite, to clear the energy space. Clear your mental space. Okay, just before. Okay, so I'm gonna tap in. Utukuataka kikiatata tutuatitikikikikikiatata titiakawataka. I'm clearing the third eye, placing these codes in your third eye. To clear your third eye chakra so you can discern, see through illusions, deceptions, lies, manipulations, to discern this energy. If you're channeling or if you're just resonating, if you're a reader. Okay, I want to purify that energy field. Utukuatiti atakau atakaki atakau atakai atikiki atakau atakakiki atiti atakau kuku atakai titi atau atakaki ataka. Ututua kai tiki aka wataka kia taka ia titi atata tututua taia taka tututua tua tua tia taia taka tata tata ta wata tutu wata tata itiki aka wata kataki kia taka hua katakia hua takaia taka hua utuku huaia tiki aka hua kaia tikia hutuku akaia taka hutuku akakaia huakakaiataka hutukuakaiata huatakaia huaia huatakakaia takakuakaia takaua takikia takaua tikia tatatauata itikia kaua takakakai itikia kaua takikia takaua takaia tikikia takaua takakua taka utukuakai atakaka utukuakai atakai kikiaka ututuakai ataka ataka kikiata utukukua takakia kaka utukuaka atakikia taka atakai kikiaka atakikia taka utukuaka utukuakai tikiaka uataia tikiaka atakai tikiaka atakuakai ataka atakahia ia hutukuakai tiki ia kakao ataka huatakai ia. So basically I cleared all these energies that are maybe trying to penetrate in the astral. If you're connected to Egyptian timelines, or as you're channeling or drawing information or connecting with your as a channeler or psychic medium, or you don't have to have these professions, but somehow if they are trying to get to you, you're just waking up as a light worker. I wanted to clear up the space in the astral for you to have these codes of protection and that light around you. So I placed a light bubble. So this is, I intend that this codes and vibration and this energy transmission is only for those who are genuinely connecting. And I'm going to place this codes with my gatekeeper team, spirit team as a gatekeeper. So if someone or this energy is trying to manipulate these codes or energies, you're going to be basically hit right back. Okay, so I'm placing these codes to lock this energy for the pure souls of heart resonance. Okay, so only those souls are going to be fully receive these codes once they set their vibration, match this vibrational tone with their pure heart opening. Okay, so that's what I'm guided to do. And with the feminine, divine feminine light codes, the wounded feminine, we want to have the empowered feminine, and that codes to clear the sacral, especially with the lunar energy that I've been connecting to. My spirit team wants me to share that on Patreon for anyone particular who's feeling drawn to connect with it there, so they can work with that energy and to further clear up their sacral chakra so they can expand. So the sacral chakra energy is connected to the energy of abundance. Basically, it's a very creative energy, creative center here. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to record a separate video after this and put that on Patreon and share all these relevant links in the description box down below. But with that, because I wanted to help with the divine feminine, the Gaia and Source were saying, okay, you can use the flowers to help them a little bit here for anyone resonating public. Okay, so this is a flower that I got a few days ago. I was called to get this flower. I was really drawn to it. It was and that night the moon started to connect with me. So you can connect with this soft pink energy for healing that navel sacral chakra energy with the divine wounded divine feminine at this time. If you are drawn to, of course, work with any of these colors. I just want to share this energy here, a little bit of Reiki here to help you stay open to your heart. The vibration and the frequency of flowers is very high vibrational. So if you're feeling a deep sense of grief, powerlessness, lack of motivation, or you constantly have that definition in your vocabulary that I feel like I'm stuck, I feel like I'm stagnant, that is the spell that you are constantly putting on yourself. To change your state immediately, go outside, connect with nature, and you can get some flowers or just touch the flowers, lovingly communicate with them telepathically, saying if you resonate that such flowers that you see on the street is beautiful, then you can just touch them like this gently and then send love, and they love connecting with you and they're helping you with their frequency as well. Okay, this is very high vibrational. Okay, or you can buy flowers for yourself and then say thank you for coming into my life, connecting with me, helping my energy at this time, and honor that their sacrifice, and you know, work with them or put them on your wherever you in your house and connect with them. Okay, or the energy or certain colors that you pick up on is the flower that you may need. Okay, you don't always have to pick certain colors or flowers logically. Pick whatever that comes that you're pulled to intuitively. Okay. And also, about a week or so ago, Seraphiel's energy has been coming on very strong, and the dragon cast, the dragon realm. So I'm very much connected to dragons, Archangel, the angels, the unicorns. So the dragon realm came through very strongly, and so few days ago I pulled out my archangel cards and dragon cards, and I pulled them. I was feeling pulled to, you know, like shuffle, and then all these cards came out, and the Seraphiel card also came out. So I'm guided to share this, especially if you are light worker or just resonating with this energy. Connect with this very light blue and golden energy that is very much available from the sun, okay, which I saw clearly in the aura from the sun. I saw this exact, it was first about 2-3 weeks ago it was the blue, and about a week or 2 weeks ago it was this two lights together from the sun, and then later the Archangel Metatron came through. And yesterday, as I was connecting with the sunset energy and the ocean here and meditating, Archangel Metatron came through once again. So I'll just quickly read the message for anyone resonating or need this energy right now. Tune into the divine will, open to higher illumination. So continue to illuminate, and there's going to be a lot of crown chakra activation or crown chakra activity going on with this Pluto energy right now, and especially in October. So a lot of people may get some clarity, but at the same time, this may be blocked with a lot of these distraction energies, I would say, or any lingering limiting beliefs that you may be holding on in your subconscious that you didn't realize may be coming up. So once you identify it, you will know what is clarity and what is confusion, and get out of that middle space where you are tiptoeing back and forth between old and new, and be clear with whether this energy is from the old timeline or this is new timeline, so you can align with these people, circumstances, and opportunities. So the word that is coming is not all that glitters is gold at this particular time. So use your discernment to keep your vibration high. Especially also keep your heart neutral to verify whether someone's vibration is in alignment with where you want to head. Okay, that is aligned with your higher self or highest intentions. Because not everyone in the spiritual community is in that vibration, is what I'm also guided to share. So use your discernment, whether you're getting some guidance or readings, because watch how someone speaks and the languages that they choose. Okay, and all of that. If they're playing authority, then also or creating fear with the ideas of condition, that if you don't do this, you're going to receive something bad. That idea basically, okay, is what I'm going to share continuously for some reason at this time, because there are a lot of energies of because we're in this old energy of Capricorn. Also, we experienced briefly of the Pluto in Aquarius. So before we move into this Pluto in Aquarius, a lot of these confusions are going to take place with the 1010 portal, this huge karmic portal, and our physical reality is not fully separate yet with the ascension, so the energy can get enmeshed very easily. And when I say distraction, I attach no energy of fear, but simply just see that as, okay, there are a lot of different things at play. This universe or this reality is very complex in a way. This different matrix portals, something can seep through different time portals, like how spirits can manipulate someone's minds and remove certain objects and place certain objects. All these things can take place, but at the same time, know that you are the magician as well. You are as powerful. And so you can create matter with your energy. That's how this universe or this reality works. So just have that neutral perspective that a lot of different elements exist, and you want to just choose the best. What is best for you, what is in highest alignment for you, is what I want to remind you, and what the Gaia and Source wanted me to share once again. Okay, so you can meditate with Seraphim Seraphiel. Seraphim Seraphiel carries a masculine energy, but it's a refined masculine energy, a very soft, strong energy here. Feminine energy is strong, but refined divine masculine energy is holds a lot of power and strength, but it does not use ego, is what I'm going to share. Okay, so this can help a lot of people when we embody this refined masculine energy. You can visualize these colors showering you in your auric field, receiving these energies from Seraphim, Seraphiel. If you want to receive assistance in your auric field, so embody this refined divine masculine energy. Okay, so I'm going to share this so you can screenshot if you want to, if you're feeling drawn to. And I have pulled all these cards, but I'm going to share this on a separate exclusive guidance video on Patreon for anyone resonating. So if you want to connect with different archangels here that I pulled for this particular month, or anytime you're resonating, you can find it on Patreon. I'm going to share some guided meditation there, and also with the dragon cards that I pulled. And the card, especially with this month right now, with this video, I was pulled to share the silver dragon. Okay, this card here. So you can tap into this energy or visualize this dragon, silver dragon. The message is: illuminate your potential with higher light. Access untapped resources. Look into your soul. See higher possibilities. So when you look into this card, it holds certain codes and energies. So just by looking into it, it may activate something in your subconscious, especially the key that is holding in this white flame. Inside is a yellow. Okay. So you can screenshot if you're feeling called to, and connect with this energy and this image here and the colors. And then what you can do, I'm just going to share briefly, is to visualize a silver dragon, beautiful silvers, shining, very soft, refined, bright silver, sparkly light, showering you, going around you, blowing you with that energy, and then helping you tap into remembering who you are, that is limitless, that is eternal, that is infinite. Okay, so you tap into your self, that is the best resource, is what I'm going to share. Okay, so you hold the key. Okay, so before I go, is there anything else, Source Gaia, that you want me to share for the collective? Okay, so as a last message, in this time of changes, one may feel a lot of confusions or wanting to create change, and this is a time of moving forward. So what I saw is the Six of Swords in tarot, traditional tarot. So we are leaving behind old energies and moving to the new ground, but we are still in between energies with the Pluto in Capricorn right now, wrapping things up. So as you do so, the analogy that is coming for me to share is that if you want to move forward, first of all, you have to know how to drive your car. So study everything, right? Study how things work, how your mind works, emotions work, how your physical bodies work, how it interacts, how your words work, your sound works, right? All these different components in the car. And also you have to sit in the driver's seat behind the wheel, meaning you have to make the decision that you're going to take charge of your life, okay? And then also, if you want to move forward, if you are distracted by, oh, what's going on here and here and here and here, react to everything constantly, you won't be able to move forward, but get into the accident, right? Hit that, hit this, okay? Also, if you want to move forward, you have to let go of the old, meaning it could be any old belief systems, old habits, old patterns, old way of thinking, the ways you feel, the ways you talk, right? However it is, then if you are continuously looking back, trying to drive forward, or look back in the rear view mirror trying to see your way into the forward, it's not going to happen, right? You're going to get into another accident, or you're going to get stuck. You can't move because you're constantly turning back, looking into the rear view mirror while you are trying to drive forward, move, and drive your way through. You can go anywhere you want. You're in the driver's seat is what I'm going to share, okay, as the last message. So this time in October with this Pluto energy and the full moon in Aries coming up, where you are going to have a new sense of self, an empowered one, as you continue to work and reflect and meditate and look deeper into your inner child wounds, or that limiting beliefs that is connected to that. Continue to work so that you can be who you are, and then embrace both your shadow as well as your light. Therefore, you're no longer afraid of your light and afraid of your darkness, meaning afraid of your light, embracing your unique gifts, your unique self, unique point of view, also shadow, your dark side, okay? And all this separation of duality has been created meanings that something is bad, something is good. Well, we don't need to chase after good over bad anymore because everything is neutral. You want to embrace both. And also just know that these people who we see as distractions or in lower vibration, however we resonate, but we use these terms right now in human language, just know that the reason why we need to detach is not because that we don't want to label them as bad, or we don't want to judge them as this or that, but simply they're unaware, they're unconscious, and therefore they're unaware of the power that they hold with their words or thoughts or emotions. And unintentionally, it is harming people, but you are aware, right? That's where the discernment comes in, okay? So that's how we let go and be in a neutral state is what I'm going to share for the last time, okay? So continue to forgive yourself for labeling yourself as not enough unconsciously and speaking unkind to yourself if you are, and also forgive others for what they have done to you, or whatever that means for you, because people are just playing what they know is best. Okay, so with that, forgive yourself in love, forgive others, situations, circumstances in love, and let go and move forward. Continue to walk forward. Okay, with that, I'm going to send you love. I'm going to send you encouragement if you need one, that you're not alone. And with that, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.